Okay, so, das ist jetzt mein erster First Look für einen Warlock, ne? Also für alle, die nicht geleakt wurden.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for the official Warlock Deep Dive. We're
Colin?
excited to get into the details, including some backstory, their visual and archetype design, and mechanics. Let's jump in.
Hey everyone, I'm JP Reimiller, Associate Art Director for Diablo-4, and I'm really excited to be here sharing more about the Warlock, its story, and the visual design that brings it to life. When we started talking about the Warlock, the very first thing we aligned on was that this character stands fully unleashed at the height of their strength. Warlock is not a clean hero, not someone who's throwing fireballs from a safe distance and walking away spotless, but rather a dark caster who's made a very conscious decision to use demons as tools.
Also wie
The
in
Warlock
D2 eher.
emerges from the shadows as a practitioner of forbidden arts, shaped by the dark legacy of the Viserai, haunted by demons, burdened with infernal insight, and feared by pretty much everyone. They have a presence about them that takes over the room. They've been through so much and have so much power that you both want to run with them and are scared of them. They've come from a really corrupt history. They've seen hell up close. And because of that, the way they summon demons isn't elegant or ceremonial. It's violent. You're ripping something
What
out
the
of hell
fuck war
against
das?
its will and forcing it into sanctuary. You don't always know what you might get, and that struggle between this dark evil and the hero you are is core to the fantasy. What I love about the Warlock is that they sit right on that line between hero and something a little more dangerous. They're trying to save sanctuary,
Kam da
but they're
gerade
willing
eine
to do
Hand.
things
Jo!
no one else will.
Okay, ja,
There's
es ist
no
cool.
regret about collateral damage.
Darf ich
It's
euch
very
eine
much,
Hand reichen?
I don't have a
Ist
choice.
leider gut.
This has to
Ist
be
wirklich
done.
gut.
And we wanted that to come through not just in the spells, but in how they move, how they stand, how they occupy space.
Alter, what the...
They can take a
Hoffentlich
hit
haben sie das
and hit
Pentagramm
back
von
in
D2
ways we've
eher
never
am
done
Start.
before in the Diablo game.
Das wäre geil.
That's really the heart of the class. You're asserting dominance over hell itself. And everything about the Warlock, narratively, visually, and mechanically, reinforces that idea.
Direkt Main-Klasse.
When we were figuring out the visual direction for the Warlock, we knew pretty early on we didn't want them to feel like a traditional fantasy caster. No flowing robes, no pristine silhouettes, no fancy elegance. The touchstones we kept coming back to were rebellion and metal. That feeling of someone who's been through hell, literally, and came back changed by it. Visually, we wanted the Warlock to feel intimidating. To be honest, a lot of that inspiration comes from metal music culture. It's loud and aggressive, and that idea translated really naturally into how the Warlock moves, how they cast, how they carry themselves. This is someone who's walked the edge for a long time. Like if someone microdosed soul shards until they found the right amount. So we leaned into the color vibe of working in a machine shop and having the oil and dirt on you. There's grit in the materials, texture in the surfaces, and
wirkt
weight
halt rund, ne?
in the way everything hangs off the body. Nothing feels ornamental for ornament's sake. They're not trying to look heroic. They look the way they do because that's what surviving hell does to you. Everything visually is there to support that story. Layered atop this is a visual design where strong demonic colors of VFX intertwine with physical motion that sets the stage for their
das
lore
ist
as a caster, who bends demons and infernal forces to their will, giving the class an otherworldly presence. There's a unique aspect to how we crafted this hero. Character art was a huge part of this class from the beginning. With so many assets needed to be created
Da ist
for
der
the
Stuff,
demons,
da ist das
we had to
Totem.
work closely as a feature team to pair all the visual elements of VFX, animation, and character art
Kann ich
to help make the
Belial
demons
selbst
feel part of the
beschwören und er
class
holt sich
in a
die?
way that succinctly flowed through the Warlock's visual design. With a balanced approach to animation and VFX, the demonology, shadow, and fire bring that raw, unfiltered power to life in the Warlock. Every moment is deliberate, heavy, and echoes the physical
Ne
toll of
Totenball.
wielding hell's energy. When you cast,
Alter,
you're
der wird
forcing
so
something
okay.
into existence.
Das Ding wird
and the
wieder
visuals
so
match that
übertrieben.
intensity. Our effects team went all in to make Warlock feel unique, with a strong identity rooted in danger. Summoning demons is an eruption of hell-forged energy, fire, and twisted light. We wanted the VFX to accentuate the animation with a focus on feel and movement. That's why when you see the skills, they are crafted with aggressive shapes and relentless motion.
Ja,
it's
sieht cool.
tearing
Also
open a portal or binding a
animationstechnisch
demon,
sieht top
you
aus.
always get a sense of chaos barely held
Also
in
für
check,
alle, die
and the battlefield
Computerpower haben.
transforms with every cast.
Das waren die Piranhas, oder?
Warlock is a willpower-based class, focused on dominating the battlefield. They use two different resources, Wrath to bring chaotic destruction, and Dominance to summon powerful demons. To define the Warlock as a class, we focus on what it will empower players to do and how they will interact with the world. First, you create.
Skobos.
You're constantly bringing things into the world. Demons, demon parts, manifestations of hell.
Ist da gerade ein
For
Totenschädel
example,
drüber
you
gefahren?
might command Fallen to path through the environment. Or you might block off areas with Wall of Agony, actively shaping the battlefield with your summoned creations. Then you control.
Also
A lot of
diese
your power comes from
Wand der
deciding where those
Toten
demons
ist das
go,
Feature fürs
how long they stay
Gruppenspiel.
alive,
Dann kannst
what
du deine
state.
Mitspieler
You're
endlich mal
controlling the battlefield
aussperren
by
im
positioning,
Dungeon.
commanding
Da
demons,
sehe ich
and
mich.
knocking down enemies.
Ohne Witz, ist schon
This is
gelockt,
where
dieses
Warlock is
Talent.
really able
Damit
to
werde ich
flex its
jeden am
willpower
Sack gehen.
and feel a sense of deliberate
Mega
domination.
gut.
You could order the tortured wretch to taunt foes into reckless attacks, or direct the profane sentinel to blast your chosen target.
What the
Every
fuck?
action is an announcement of your authority over the chaos you've summoned. And finally, you combo. Almost nothing exists in isolation. You're encouraged to chain interactions, summon something, modify it, consume it,
Alter, aus
detonate
der
it,
Wand
or
jetzt
use it
4
to empower
Demons
the next
Oh mein
action.
Gott, ist das Ding
The
OP.
system rewards you for thinking a step ahead. Kill both enemies and demons swiftly with bombardment, fueling Sigil of Summons to unleash the next wave of demons.
Also dafür
What's
ist so
important
40
is that
Euro ein
these
guter
layers
Preis.
Feed into each other. Creating gives you options. Control lets you shape those options, and comboing turns them into a payoff.
Ein
So the Warlock
Totenkopf-Pad.
isn't just executing a single fixed rotation. It's about building a small ecosystem in combat, and then deciding how aggressively or how cleverly you want to collapse it. The core idea behind Soul Shards is really about transformations, saying, I'm not just summoning demons anymore. I'm actually incorporating hell into myself.
Da,
With
okay,
the
ja,
Soul
da war
Shard
das Ding.
system, you fuse a demon straight into your body. Picking a Soul Shard is the rulebook for everything you do in-game, shaping your powers and how you play from the ground up. You choose from 4 primary shards. Each shard represents a fundamentally different playstyle direction, mutating your character by stealing powers from hell and your bound demon. Each primary shard does 2 major things. First, it grants a transformative playstyle passive that alters your core gameplay loop. How you summon demons, how you control them, and how you chain effects together. Second, it binds a specific demon pet to you, directly tied to the shard's identity. Within each primary shard, you then select one of 3 fragment sub-options. Fragments
Alter, das
act
ist schon
as
sehr
specialization
komplex für
layers.
Diablo.
They don't change what the shard is, but they absolutely change how it
Hol da die
behaves,
Waldfee.
what you prioritize, what resources you lean on, and how your abilities interact. The result is that the shards open up new and unique transformative options for how you interact with the world and your demons. When you see a Warlock in action, you can tell what they chose, not because of a tooltip, but because of how their gameplay unfolds.
Jetzt kriege ich mal ein Plus rein, weil
One of the
jeder
big
wird sich
pillars
dieses
of the Warlock
Feuerbett
is
kaufen.
that
Da
although
fängt
you're a
schon mal
summoner
an.
of hell,
Ne? Dieses
these
Feuerbett
entities
wird
are not
zuerst
behaving
gekauft.
like conventional pets.
Das kenne ich ja
Most
schon,
summons are
ey.
temporary. Warlocks brutally discard them once
sehe
they've
ich
served
schon.
their purpose. But with a Soul Shard, you choose to persistently bind one of 4 powerful demons to supercharge your playstyle. With Legion, the focus is on biological demon generation. This demon specializes in spawning physical demonic
Das holt
bodies
mich
into
nicht
the
ab.
world.
Also, das ist sowas bei mir. Ich möchte
gives
nicht
you more
dauernd
entities
Demons
to control,
spawnen. Ich möchte
reposition, and
Demons
chain
haben, die
together,
dauernd da
which
sind.
supports builds that scale through volume and chaotic pressure. Here you have the demon Agram, who embodies this chaotic approach. Using its spit command, Agram can unleash corrosive projectiles across the battlefield that burst into smaller demons on impact. As you command Agram and other lesser demons, their deaths fuel your power to summon greater demons. Every spawned lesser demon serves as a resource, amplifying your summoning potential and enabling more dramatic, high-impact plays. The
Weiß.
system
Kommt auf die
encourages you
Units
to
an, ja.
continuously generate, sacrifice, and leverage these demonic minions, creating a feedback loop where the chaos you unleash becomes the fuel for even more formidable monsters to join your legion. Vanguard shifts the system towards mobility and frontline presence. The fiery steed Abodian
Das ist der
functions
Shit
as an
hier.
aggressive, speedy means of closing gaps. It's designed for players who want to push forward, create openings, and apply pressure through motion. With Abodian's charge, the
Monk
Warlock
style.
surges across the battlefield in a blaze of hellfire, pulling foes along and instantly repositioning for the next attack. Mastermind moves things in a more control-oriented
Ach, das Meistermind können wir
The devouring
vergessen.
Shadow Demon Lalish undermines your enemies and attacks on your command. It favors players who enjoy planning ahead and creating layered outcomes. Executing Lalish's Terror Realm consumes foes while cloaking the Warlock in Shadow Flow, allowing you to remain hidden while issuing direct commands to your abyssal demons. This devastating maneuver lets you orchestrate surprise assaults, manipulating enemy placement and
Das sieht halt
inflicting
gut
terror.
aus.
The synergy between Shadow Form and Abyss Demon control turns the battlefield into your personal chessboard. Ritualist is deliberately different. This demon exists primarily as a sacrificial resource.
Da,
You're siphoning power from it to generate bursts of strength,
den wollen
creating
wir.
an offensive pet for spikes in your damage and efficiency. When you channel the might of
Ja,
Valak,
mein Bild
you're
ist
tapping
gesetzt.
into a wellspring of forbidden magic. By draining Valak's essence, you can unleash empowered spell combos, like trapping enemies in shadowy confinement with Dark Prison, before detonating the battlefield with Hell Fractures. Valak's unique bond supercharges your occult Hellfire and Abyss abilities,
Sieht doch gut aus.
making every cast more devastating and allowing your Warlock to bend the materials of Hell to their will in moments of explosive power. Hopefully you can see how picking your bound demon is more than just window dressing. It's the linchpin that turns every fight into your personal stage.
Ja, das Problem ist halt hier,
What
schauen wir
sets
mal
the
auf den
Warlock apart
Skill-Tree.
is the sheer freedom you have to define your
Das
power.
Hauptproblem ist,
There are countless ways to customize your
S
skills.
tier und Go,
and every
ne?
level unlocks new options that let you reshape your build on the fly. Many of the Warlock's most iconic abilities don't just have a single expression. They can be radically reshaped through variants that change how the power manifests in combat. Each variant pushes the ability in a distinct direction, letting you lean into overwhelming chaos, precise command, or personal
das schießt
dominance.
automatisch
Whether you're amplifying demonic
nur gute
force,
Skills. Ich habe
directing
nur
it with
gute
intent,
Skills gesehen.
or consuming it to become the weapon yourself. These variants ensure that every major summon reflects your chosen playstyle and reinforces how you want your Warlock to engage in the battlefield. Let's dive right into the Warlock skill variants. Rampage. You unleash a rampaging demon brute onto the battlefield, a living engine of chaos that smashes through anything unlucky enough to stand in its way. Abyssal Titan. The demon brute becomes an Abyssal Titan, larger and imbued with the shadows of hell. You may directly order this
Also
brute
für
to
die
perform
Leute, die keine
devastating
Freunde haben,
attacks.
hast du immer einen Begleiter
Demonic
dabei.
Smash.
Und den
You
kannst du
consume
einfach
the brute's
herbei
power,
beschwören.
gaining
Sieht
demon
doch
form
gut
and
aus.
allowing you yourself to jump into the battlefield. Sigil of Summons. Perform occult rituals to summon additional demons. Customize how you perform this ritual and what comes out. Summon Succubus. Summon 2 greater succubi that inflict terrible, terrible shadow damage. Summon Hellworm. Summon a Hellworm that mimics your own demon summoning, summoning
Das
even
Problem
more
ist,
demons.
das ist zu
Fiend
langsam.
of Abaddon. You summon a towering demon juggernaut, wielding a massive hell-forged greatsword that cleaves through the battlefield in unstoppable arcs of destruction. Abyssal Colossus. You may now order the Fiend to perform an enormous
Genau,
two-fisted
stationär und
smash that
statisch.
pulls
Das ist
in
das
enemies.
Problem. Beim
Vanguard
Diablo
of
ist ja
Flames.
Speed.
This Fiend is now bound directly to you.
Ah, das Ding
moving
geht mit
with
dir
you
mit,
and
das
allowing
willst
you
du.
to charge into
Schau dir das
battle.
an.
This is
Ja.
especially cool
Dämon,
with the
Schwert,
Rampage
du
Demonic
läufst,
Smash
du
variant,
ziehst den
since you
mit
can
und
leap
der
yourself
schwingt alles
with
weg.
this Fiend attached
Das
to
ist
you.
der Shit.
We're so
Sehe ich
excited
jetzt
for
schon.
all of you to shape your Warlock playstyle with
Mega.
your own devastating abilities and unique variants. The options are as dynamic as they are powerful. Dive deep and discover the combinations that unleash your true potential. That wraps up our Warlock deep dive for now. Thank you to our incredible community for your
Krass.
ongoing passion and enthusiasm. Your excitement and
Also man muss eines dazu sagen, das ist ja jetzt hier World First Warlock Gameplay, also ungeleakt. Und man muss Credits geben, dass sie versuchen, ein paar Sachen mit der Klasse zu machen, die man im Vorfeld noch nicht gesehen hat. Also für mich her, ich sehe halt, die Hälfte wird nicht funktionieren, zu langsam, zu stationär, sei mal dahingestellt. Aber es gibt auf jeden Fall ein paar Credits, weil da ein paar Fertigkeiten dabei sind und ein paar Kombinationen, die ich so noch nicht im Diablo-Universum gesehen habe. Also der wird natürlich wieder fucking OP werden, da brauchen wir gar nicht drüber reden. Aber overall sieht das richtig stark aus. Ja, overall sieht das richtig, richtig stark aus. Also ich bin mal gespannt. Ich bin definitiv gespannt, was da noch kommt. So, und back.